Hello everyone, here I will explain about the lesson plan that I choose, namely is recontact of writing. Recontact is a type of tag in English that tell a story, action or activity. Usually, the recontact tell about someone's experience. Recontact can also help us learn new vocabulary and can improve our grammar ability and also our pronunciation. Warm up. First of all, before starting the lesson there are a number of things that the teacher must do, such as greeting student, doing absences, asking how far the lesson is done, and giving a little motivation so that students are more enthusiastic when teaching and learning activities begin. The presence of students in school is one of the factors that has an influence on the assessment. Nevertheless, the presence of students at school is not necessarily in accordance with the activities that should be carried out. Therefore, it is important to do student attendance in each subject as an evaluation material for the assessment of his assessment. Motivation. Motivation is very important in teaching and learning activity. Motivation encourages enthusiasm for learning and vice versa. Lack of motivation will weaken the spirit of learning. A student who learns without motivation or lack motivation will not success to the maximum. Teaching content. In this teaching content, the teacher will explain the meaning of the recontact in front of the student through a PowerPoint. When explaining, the teacher will also ask student while in the middle of explaining. The method to be taken when explaining is lecture. The teacher will write on the board about part of the recontact, such as generic, structure, and abstract. The structure of recontact is the first orientation. Orientation is introduction or opening in the form of orientation tell about background information about who, where, when the event or event occur. And the second is events. Event is tell a series of events that occur in chronological order. And the third is reorientation. Reorientation in this the conclusion or conclusion of the story. To close a story, we can give our opinion about the story. And the teacher also explained about the linguistic element used in the recontact. In general, recontact has the following linguistic element. Linguistic element of recontact, the first is noun. Noun certain noun as people pronouns such as people names. And the next is past tense. Past tense use a past tense verb such as when, visited, worked, and extract. And next, time connective. Time connective, a time connector to able to shoot event, for example, after, before, and ended, and start. And the last is action verb. Action verb that indicate an event or activity, for example, stay, climbed, word, and strike. And adverbs. Adverbs, word or phrase to indicate time, place, and method. For example, yesterday, last year, at home, slowly, careful, and strike. Then, after explaining about the recontact, the teacher will give an example of the recontact. And the last part, after explaining about recontact and giving a sample of teacher doing Q&A, asking question in the second step of activity that will be a means for student to think the answer problem so that a teacher can measure whether the learning delivered has been received or not. Also to find out to what extent students know or want to know the lesson to be covered. And practice. In this practice, after explaining in detail about the recontact, then the teacher will give the question to the student, that is making a recontact story complete with its structure. When the process of student doing assessment, the teacher looks at the assessment that students are doing. In the accordance with stipulated time, the student must complete the assessment for 10 minutes hour of 25 minutes because stipulated remaining time will be used to check the result of assessment done by student for 10 minutes, and the remaining time the teacher used to explain a little mistake made by student in their assessment. And the last is application. Next is the teacher give final project to his student, namely give a paper to student do the next task individually, which is to make the recontext story freely. Then, after the assessment is finished, each student exchange paper and correct his friend mistake with to the help of the teacher. After everything is finished, the teacher take the student assessment and provide an assessment of the recontact for each student. Uh, After explaining everything here, I made a recontext story title visit to our Sunan. In this story, I have made three parts of the question, from the assist to the most difficult, the easiest to the most difficult. The first problem is multiple choice. The reason I made this problem because, for example, the recontact is so this problem is very easy for student to understand. When answering the question, the time record is shorter. The question do not depend on the previous problem. All indicator can be represented easy to make because it is aligned with the indicator to assess it. Next is an essay. This problem, in my opinion, is very easy in helping students learn to answer by arranging this problem, and can also help students think logically when answering. And the last is essay 2, but the answers are expressed in their own word and sentence, so that this test can be used to train students to make story with good, correct, and first language. Uh, in this test can be used to train students to choose facts that are relevant to the problem, and this difficult to appropriately assess it, so that I can reveal a whole integrated to. I say thank you so much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.